Hello. How are you guys? Happy Monday. Hello, Jamia. Hey, Sharinda. Aw, no problem, Sharice. Hey, hey, Captain. What's up, guys? So this is impromptu. I didn't plan for it. I did say I was going to plan for these, but I did not plan for it. But I'm doing this for a reason. It's not going to be long because I just wanted to kind of share a couple things. So I was talking to a friend of mine who is also a fellow YouTuber, content creator. And one of the things that we were talking about is there are a lot of people dealing with things on YouTube, and you can tell by the way some people are acting and things that are happening. And some of the things are not so positive. I'm not going to name names, but Cap and the rest of you, you guys know who I'm talking about. But even just not being honest. So like people saying something happened, saying that somebody passed away, but not clarifying, and things like that. And so one of the things I just kind of wanted to talk about was it's okay to deal with your mental health and things that you might be going through. Um, but YouTube is not always the place to do so. And I feel like some people are going through different things and they're seeking attention and they're, I don't know, trying to get people to come to their channel or trying to force friendships and saying that everybody has clicks and things like that. There's so much of that going on. And I'm just wondering if maybe people need to kind of seek someone to talk to. And so I wanted to talk about kind of some of the stigmas and things like that. Yeah, and sometimes it's clickbait and all of that, and it's just unnecessary. And I know I can't tell adults what to do, but I will say, for me, I know I'm not going to buy into that kind of behavior on YouTube. And so my first go-to measure is to just remove myself as being a subscriber when I see that happening. And so it's just unnecessary. There's one thing to like prank and do things like that, but it's another thing to just lie and not be honest with people, or be deceitful. So I'm not going to say the name of the couple because you guys know who I'm talking about, and I don't really want to give them any more glory by saying their name. But I want to say this. And I will shout out to Soulful Eats because she did make a live, and you guys can go watch that live. And she was talking about, she was really frustrated and upset with the situation. And the thing is, I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit to kind of back her up because I saw the original post that she actually took a screenshot of and shared on Instagram, giving her condolences. I saw the original post that was on YouTube on these people's community tab. So a lot of people didn't see it because it was removed. But I saw it because that morning I had woken up, and this has been like what, over a month ago, about a month ago. I had woken up kind of early and I was just kind of scrolling on YouTube and I saw that post um, saying that this particular person had passed away. And of course, I was just like, oh my gosh, what in the world? Like, what? You know, you feel bad because I mean, we've lost people for real on YouTube, real content creators that have passed away for real. And we've all experienced feeling sad about that because you don't want to hear that someone passed away, whether you know them very well or whether you don't. And so I'm only speaking a little bit on this because I saw the original post along with Soulful Eats. And so I just wanted to back her up in that, saying that that post was made. Yes, she had the screenshot, but I did see it as well. So when I saw it, I didn't react on YouTube or social media right away. I kind of was just like, oh my gosh, I felt really bad about it. And the thing is, that day, I had been kind of looking on the news, looking on Facebook, and hearing so many different things happening to people. People that I know on Facebook, and also just in the news, so much has been going on. And so when I saw that post, I was like, oh my gosh, one more thing, something else is happening. And so I just felt really, really bad. And so I didn't react right away. I just kind of was like, oh my gosh, kind of just said to myself, I'm praying for the family. I hope things will work out as far as whatever needs to take place for just arrangements or anything like that. So I just kind of was like, I'm done with social media for a little bit. But then I got on Instagram and I saw her post expressing her condolences. Soulful Eats post expressing her condolences. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. And so then I went back to YouTube and went to my community tab, and I left a post. And I said, just I've heard the news about this particular person, and I kind of just expressed my condolences on that post. And so the thing about it is, I'm hearing that there was a mistake, or that the wife acted too quickly or something like that. But here's my thing about it. Why didn't you comment on my post, or Soulful Eats post, or anybody else's that commented about it, and let us know that this was not true? Because I was shocked. The thing is, I stopped kind of going on their channel. I wasn't paying attention to the Instagram or any of that. So when I saw all of this popping up on YouTube about this person is still alive and all of this, I was like, what? What in the world? What in the world? And so I don't know. It was just kind of like, what's going on? So then I started kind of looking and watching people's comments and things about this particular couple. And I was just like, what in the world? Because it's one thing to make a mistake. So, like, let's say something did happen and they thought this person was gone, and they made a rash decision and just made a post and then took it down because things weren't exactly as it seemed. Let's say that that really did happen. Why not let us know? Those people who have been posting condolences, why not just say, I'm sorry, guys, this was a mistake. I posted without, I kind of just made a decision really quickly. It just didn't make sense, is what I'm saying. And so I'm trying to be kind in my word choices, but it just really did not make sense. Um, and so and I want to say to this particular couple, because I will tag them in my description when this post, because I would love for them to listen to it. But what I want to say to this couple, again, I'm not going to say your name because I feel like it's just giving you too much attention. Uh, but I will put it in the description because a lot of people already know who you are. Because I do want you to watch it. But what I'm going to say to you is, make a video and just tell people the truth. And the reason why I say that is because it just is the right thing to do. Like, yeah, you don't owe us anything. You don't owe anybody anything, but don't play with that kind of stuff. Just like Soulful Eats was talking about losing her brother to a heart issue. My sister's husband back in 2014 passed away suddenly of a heart attack at 43, 42, 43. I don't want to mess up the age, but 42 or 43 years old. So immediately, like, when you hear somebody else passed away and you're thinking, oh, it must be a heart issue, because you've seen videos of this person saying they've had heart issues and things like that. You feel bad, because I know what it felt like for my sister to experience it. And the thing is, we all saw my brother-in-law drop dead pretty much. Um, he fell out right in front of us, and including a lot of his family, including his 4-year-old daughter. The oldest daughter, the 12-year-old, she didn't see him pass out, but she saw him on the ground. But those of us that saw him just fall to the ground, it was really, really hard. And so people have been through a lot of things. And when you post stuff and then you find out, and all of a sudden this person starts making videos and you see like this person's alive and you can tell because of what you see in the video that it's current. When you see stuff like that, it's a trigger for people who have dealt with loss, and you don't know how people can handle that kind of stuff. And so I was really disgusted by the fact that there was no clarification, because I don't know exactly what happened. There could have been a mistake. There could have been somebody that just posted out of emotion because they thought this person was really gone. But it just doesn't look that way because there was no clarification. And the thing is, there's been so much time to clarify that now, even if you were to like say something, I don't know that people would believe you. So I would just say, make a video being honest about what happened. Um, and if you did something that you were joking and you thought maybe it would be funny and you changed your mind that you thought it would not be funny, then say that. But I think if anything, just be honest. And of course, like I said, I can't tell adults what to do at all. Everybody's going to make their decision. Yes, Jamie, a death is real. Yeah. Yeah. Us either, Jamie. Like, and that's what doesn't make sense. Like, that's the last thing that we were thinking about, was to make a post on social media. Now, mind you, at that time in 2014, I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't really active. I wasn't making videos like I am now. But still, like, we didn't go even post on Facebook right away when all of that happened. If anything, uh, we were too just like shocked and crying and trying to deal with it ourselves. It wasn't something that we were going to post right away. And so it just doesn't make sense. And so, as you can see, I kind of titled this as just kind of being better content creators. And what I mean by that is just some things are funny and some things are not. So if you want to be funny, be funny. But some things are morbid and can trigger people. Thank you, Keena. I appreciate that. And so just think before you do things. And if you make a mistake and other people have seen it publicly, I think the right thing to do is to address it publicly. And that's why I'm addressing it publicly, because I saw it. It was on a public community post. And so I just wanted to kind of back up Soulful Eats, because I did see that original post as well. And so I thought about it, and I was kind of thinking about how should I address it. So this live is not just about that. It's other behaviors as well. Another thing, just kind of moving away from that because I've given that enough attention, but yes. So another thing that I wanted to address was just pressuring other YouTubers. And the thing about it, as content creators, everybody's trying to grow their channel. Everybody's trying to figure out what works for them. Everybody's trying to, make their own little stamp on the YouTube world in whatever way that they choose, whether it's for hobby's sake or whether it's for those who are wanting to treat this as a business, or whatever your reason is for being a creator. Everybody has a reason why we're here. But I feel like some people are so craving attention, craving friends, craving this or that they're putting a lot of pressure on other content creators. And that's not right. I understand wanting friendships and wanting things like that, but we have to stop calling everything a clique as well. There's some people who have just made genuine connections through YouTube. YouTube is just kind of a vessel. And for some people, they make genuine connections, and it could be because they met in person. It could be that they just communicate a lot through YouTube or through DMs or Instagram or whatever it might be. But really, like, we have to stop calling everything a clique. There's some people that just vibe with each other. And you see those friendships forming. I think it's a beautiful thing when people get along and they can build friendships from this, even if that wasn't the purpose for them starting a YouTube channel. It's cool to see. And so I think we have to stop putting so much pressure on others. Because you may not make that connection with the specific person doesn't mean that just because that person made a connection with somebody else, that's a clique. And so I just feel like that's kind of high schoolish behavior to kind of put that out there. Now, are there cliques on YouTube? Probably so. Are there groups on YouTube? Yeah, there are. I'm not in a group, but are there groups? Yes. And to each his own. As long as people are staying positive and doing whatever they want to do, that's fine. But not everything is a clique. Not everything is a group or whatever it might be. Um, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about that as well. Everybody's busy. You guys, people have husbands, people have wives, people have children. I don't have children, but I have a career. People have jobs, people have businesses that they've created. And then you're trying to put YouTube in that. So we can't just sit and watch every single person's video. If I'm subscribed to over 200 people, 300, 400, however many people I'm subscribed to, there's just no way. So putting that pressure, and I'm saying this, and this isn't a knock to anybody, because I don't mind if you send me your link for videos to watch. But if you send every single video, every link to every single video, um, it can be a little bit much, because it's almost saying you need to watch all my videos. And I'm like, you're not my only person that I'm subscribed to. And one of the things that I try to do is I try to go through my subscription list and watch a video of somebody I may not have been able to watch this day and try to watch another one on this day. I try to do that the best that I can. But sometimes it's just happens to be on my TV. And sometimes I might just like and watch it on my TV. I may not always comment. And I do try when I'm watching on my computer or my phone to comment. But if I'm just watching on my TV, sometimes I'll just watch a few back-to-back videos of different people. But I won't take that pressure. So I'm just telling you guys, if you're pressuring anybody to watch your videos and getting mad at people and then going live or going into your videos, going to other people's chats and degrading people because you're mad because they didn't watch all your videos and they are a content creator, stop, because they're busy. Like, people have lives outside of YouTube. And so I feel like we need to be a little bit more respectful to other content creators. It's a blessing to have other content creators support your channel, but nobody has to. There are people who watch our videos who don't make content. They just watch, and I appreciate those people as well. But we shouldn't even put pressure on them if they're busy, because they might not make content, but they might have families too. They may have jobs too. And so I count it as a blessing. I think it might come from people being so focused on wanting views and wanting subscribers and wanting to be successful. And it's fine to want to be successful on YouTube, but that's not a pressure that we should put on other people. I'm not going to like drill and kill and beg people to run playlists or beg people to subscribe or view. I'll put it out there in my videos. I'll say, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll say it. But I'm not going to hound them. I'm not going to send them a bunch of messages, DMs. I'm not going to be sending you guys all these links to watch all of my videos. I'm just not going to do that. It's not, to me, I'm not valuing your time, because to me, if you want to watch my video, you'll take the time to do it when you have a chance. And I feel like that's okay. I do appreciate those who do run my playlist and do comment and do this. And some people just do it because that's just how they are. And I appreciate that. And so I just think we have to do better. And so when I talk about being a better content creator, I'm not talking about the skill that you have, the lighting and all that. I'm talking about remembering that people on YouTube are humans. And this just kind of stemmed from a conversation that I was having with another content creator. And we were just talking like mental health and things like that are real in the world, and they're real on YouTube. And I think sometimes people are dealing with things and it's coming off onto other people. Donna Green, you said your question is why? Why in what regard? I just want to make sure if you have a question that I answer it. Yeah, holiday time. People are having a hard time. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's, definitely, for sure, and I feel like also people might be dealing with, loneliness. Thank you for those who are coming in, by the way. If I didn't say hello, let me see, let me go backwards. Kina, I think I said hello to you. Donna, hello. Priscilla, hello. Anybody else? By you, I hope I said hello to everybody. Um, People are going through things, and I think sometimes it can stem from loneliness. Like some people might be dealing with that, and so they're just craving attention. They're just wanting people to like them. They're wanting friends. They're wanting people to give them whatever it is that they're seeking. And that's just a lot of pressure to put on other content creators who are here making content. I always say, for me, when I came on YouTube, it wasn't coming on to make friends, but I feel like there are friendships being made. And I'm thankful for that. I count that as a bonus. I count that as a blessing, but it wasn't what I came on YouTube for. I've said this before. I started doing mukbangs during COVID. And like I said, I saw a video from B Love saying if you want to start a channel, this would be the perfect time because everybody's at home. And so I was like, you know what? I eat every day. And at that time, I was cooking a lot as well because, we weren't eating out like that. So I had groceries, I was cooking. And so I started making videos. And so it was just kind of a way for me to just have an outlet being at home every day, which I was not used to because with my job at the time, 2020, I was working for a school district. I was actually having to go to work every day. And so when we got shut down, everything was virtual. And so it was just another outlet for me. So it really was a hobby. Now, I did start to learn like that you could do well from it. You can make money and do things like that. And so um, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't want to make some coins from this, but it's not my number one motivator, if that makes sense. But I would love to, of course, but I definitely want to do so by making my channel more of what I want it to be, because really I didn't plan on just being a mukbang channel. I just started it because it was just a way for me to have an outlet being at home. And so a way to connect and kind of just be creative. And so I think people have different intentions for why they are on YouTube. And sometimes it's hard to understand like some people's intentions versus others. But we just gotta chill a little bit. And I'm not saying everything on YouTube has to be like kumbaya and all that. Like I know some content creators are talking about like serious topics and different things like that. Um, but that's different than just being like messy or just being I guess not being thoughtful. That's a lot different. Yeah, Donna, I agree. And the thing is, if it was a joke, it just wasn't funny. And just say that and say, you know what, I messed up. Hey, base chick, how are you? But yeah, and one of the other things I wanted to mention, and you actually made me segue into this. You said it's the other way they could have got money, Donna. Um, that was another thing that I was talking about with a friend of mine, and um, people targeting other people trying to get money from them. Um, and I'll say this, like, I feel like there's some people, and I feel like there's less of these people than there are the good people on YouTube, but there are some out there. But there are these few people who I think watch videos, they look to see your background, they look to see what you share. And those are the people they start targeting to get money from because they think you have money to give. And so we have to just be careful. It's sad that you have to question things when people are asking for things like I know there's some really good things going on trying to give. And so I would definitely 100% say support what's going on with Essence of Sonia, CJ and Sharice, all those who are involved in helping a family with holiday gifts. I would definitely say support that because I know it's coming from a good place. Um, And there's certain people that I know for sure that I would back up with what they're doing. Um, but you have to be careful of those little snakes that try to get in, and they try to use things, asking for things. And I know we all know of this person that was making her way through Instagram and sending people DMs and asking people for money for these different reasons. And so it's just unfortunate that people are acting that way, especially as adults. But we just got to be careful because people will target you because they think you have it to give. Especially like if you're talking about having your career, your job, or whatever it might be. Just it's sad that we have to be careful about that. Um, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, like, when I try to give, to help people, I try to give knowing and I was talking about this with a friend as well. Sometimes you give not knowing if it's genuine, but knowing that God's gonna bless you anyway. So you just kind of say a prayer like, I don't know for sure that this is for a good reason, but I'm just giving from the bottom of my heart. And so just bless it anyway. But still don't let people trick you out of things as well, because even if you have a lot of money, it's your money and it's valuable for you and your family and for your goals and whatever trips you want to go on. um, and of course I always say help people, but just don't help people scam you, if that makes sense. So I don't know, it's just we can all be better content creators in the choices that we make and the way that we interact. And I'm one of those people. I'm quiet natured for the most part, but I will speak up when something is wrong. Wrong is wrong. And even if it's somebody that I like or may have collab with or care about, whatever it might be, I don't care who it is. Wrong is wrong. Family, sister, brother, mom, dad, wrong is wrong. And so I'm just not one of those people that is going to say, oh, that was right. And everybody makes mistakes. And my thing is, if you make a mistake and just own up to it, and then people can either forgive and let it go, or they might just not want to mess with you anymore, whatever it might be. But that's their choice. But at least you can have a clear conscience and a clear heart, because nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. And who knows, maybe one of these days I might say something that rubs somebody the wrong way. You just never know. But hopefully we can all own up to mistakes, especially when people say or speak up to you about it. Um, that's helpful to everybody. No problem, Priscilla. I appreciate you. But I just wanted to speak on that because it's just unnecessary. As we're going into a new year, we're getting closer to the end of the year. Guys, life is too short to be playing around with people's time, people's money, um, people's emotions, people's feelings. And I'm just saying, for me, if I see that, I'm unsubscribing and just removing myself from it, because nobody has time for that energy at all. Nobody. But lastly, this is the last thing, and then I'm going to go because I have to run. But lastly, I wanted to talk about um, seeking help in other ways. So sometimes you can't talk to people on YouTube. Sometimes you can't talk to your best friend. Sometimes you can't talk to your mom, your dad, sister, brother. Sometimes you may not feel comfortable because it might be something that you need to work through in another way. So I would say we need to take away the stigma of talking to counselors, talking to therapists, because it doesn't make you crazy. And I'm going to give you a story, a personal story. So I was home for Thanksgiving, and I'm not going to tell you the business, but I'm going to just kind of tell you this. I was at home for Thanksgiving, and during the time I was home, I was there for about a week. um, there was something that happened within my family with a family member. It was something that I didn't agree with, and it was something that kind of brought up old emotions from something a few years ago. And with this particular family member, um, we talked about it. I was upset. I talked to my parents about it. I talked to my best friends about it. But at the same time, there was like kind of a level of hurt that I was like, I feel like I need to talk to somebody else about this because I need to make sure that I'm good. Because it's one thing to talk to your family, your friends. And so I told my mom, I said, you know what? I'm going to talk. I think I'm going to talk to a counselor. And so I was thinking about it. And if you have insurance, check your insurance because just like they cover you to go to a dentist, a lot of those insurance plans cover for you to go talk to a counselor. And there's nothing wrong with that. One of the counselors, actually, the counselor I ended up talking to, one of the things that she said was just like you go to a dentist, just like you go to a eye doctor, just like you go to a gynecologist or whatever doctor you go to, a counselor is just like that. So just like we take care of our heart, we take care of our teeth or whatever it might be, we also need to take care of our mind because your mind can be affected as well. And there's too many people that are losing it, y'all, like completely losing it. There's a young man in my hometown. He had moved away and got married and had kids, and I hadn't really followed like what he's been doing, but I just remember him from when we were like teenagers, growing up, and he always had a real bubbly personality and things like that. um and he always like made people laugh, joking, all this stuff. So one of my cousins told me that he just had a mental breakdown. I guess him and his wife, something happened. They ended up divorced or whatever, or she ended up filing for divorce. And I don't know what all happened, but he's like lost it in a way that he's just walking the streets, kind of just out of it. And I was like, what? Because if you knew this particular person, like he was just not that. And even a few years ago, when I saw him with his family, I'm just like, what happened? And so the only thing I could think about was, imagine the mind. There could be little things that are happening to you along the way, and you think you're handling it, and it could be that one thing that just sets you off and just takes you out, or you just have like a mental episode or whatever it might be. And so I believe in, if I'm experiencing something and I don't know what to do about it, I believe in getting help. If I'm having a issue with my health and it doesn't feel right, I go to the doctor. And so when I had the situation going on, and I was just like, I still don't feel good after talking to my parents and my friends, I told my mom I'm going to get a counselor. So what I did was, and I just wanted to tell y'all really quick, I check my insurance again, and I do have coverage on my insurance to go to a counselor. So, or therapist, whatever you need to do. There's mental health part of your insurance. And I don't know what everybody's insurance is, but I'm just sharing this if it helps somebody. So, there's a website that I actually went to. I looked on my insurance plan, and it gives you a list of like doctors that are in your, I guess, on your plan that will be covered. But I don't know any of those doctors. So, and I don't really know who to pick. So I found this website. It's actually called Sonder Mind. And it is a site where you can actually use your insurance, and they are you can find counselors or therapists that are um, virtual, so that you could have a like Zoom session. You don't have to necessarily go in to meet with a therapist. So I wanted to show you guys the site. And so there it is. It's called Sondermind. But it's a site where you can go and find a counselor, and you can actually connect your insurance to it. So I thought this was pretty cool. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. And so, and like I said, I just had a situation where something happened in my family. I didn't know really how to deal with it. So I talked to my family, I talked to my friends, but I still felt like I need to talk to somebody else about it because I just don't know how to deal with it. And so I went to kind of looking, and I found this site called Sondermind. And so there's a thing you fill out, there's questions you fill out, and then they give you they it asks you questions of what kind of person you're looking for. So if you're looking for someone who has spiritual beliefs or someone who does not, if you're looking for a female, or if you want it to be a male, like it asks you all those questions. And so then it gives you it narrows down to a few counselors or therapists who you can choose to meet with. And so mine narrowed down to like three. Well, actually, it was two, and then added another one on. And so I actually set up an appointment, and I had the appointment with her. What's today? Today's Monday. I had the appointment with her on Friday morning. And so it was an hour long. And like I said, it connects to my insurance. So whatever copay you have from your insurance, that's what you pay, and you link your card to it and things like that. So I wanted to share this because I always tell people, if I'm going to tell you to do something, then I'm also speaking to myself. Um, when I was talking to her, one of the things she asked me is if I had ever had counseling or therapy or anything before. And I said no. Even when my sister passed away, I didn't talk to a counselor, and I really should have. That's probably when I needed, really, really, really needed to talk to a counselor, when my middle sister passed away. Even when my brother-in-law passed away, I probably needed to then. And so, but the thing is, I told her, I don't feel like I'm doing that bad mentally, but I felt like I dealt with the situation that I was trying to think through, and I just needed like a thought partner, somebody else to talk to that wasn't related to me, or that wasn't a friend, that didn't have any investment in my life, that was just somebody to speak to that could possibly get me to think about things a different way. And she did. And so she asked me like, how many times do I want to meet with her? I said, I think I'll just meet with you like once a month and just talk to you. And maybe if there's something that I am going through, even if I'm not going through something, just kind of have somebody to make sure I'm doing good mentally. And so I would advise that for anybody, those of you on YouTube who are just needing an outlet, because I feel like there are people who deep down have good hearts. And sometimes I try to give some people a benefit of the doubt. I try to like say, you know what, don't worry about other content creators, just have a good time. I try to tell people that. And some people, you still see them acting a fool and doing crazy things. And then that's when I have to remove myself. But I also still think about those people, like maybe they just need to talk to somebody. And so I'm just sharing a resource that I've used. I'm sure there's other things you can use. You can go find a counselor that you want to see in person. You can do that as well. But you want to make sure you find people to talk to. Let me check the chat. Um, yeah, sometimes we need to talk to an outside person. People can't always speak freely. That's true. Yes, bio therapy is good. Yeah. And so we just got to take the stigma off. And I'll say this, and I can only speak from the experience of just being this way. Growing up as a preacher's child, growing up as a Black African American woman, even a child, um, a lot of times people say, just pray about it, or um, talk to somebody at the church, or whatever it might be. And some churches have really good counselors who speak to you from a counselor perspective, not just um, saying they'll pray for you. And mind you, I believe in prayer, but I also believe in acting and doing things. And I think people are skilled in ways to help you. There's doctors who are just skilled surgeons. There's doctors who are skilled in just knowing how to talk to people and to get them to open up and to help them think about what they're going through, and kind of help them figure out a plan. And so these people are there for a reason. And for some of them, it's a life calling, and they're just here for that. And you might talk to somebody, a counselor, and you might say, this one's not the right one, but don't give up. Try to find somebody else that might be helpful for you. But I just wanted to put this out there because there's so many people just going through a lot. And I just don't think that all of these people out here on YouTube that are making these choices are evil. I just don't think that, but I think people have some issues that they need to deal with. And they need to deal with them outside of YouTube so that they're not coming on here hurting people and making poor decisions because they're not dealing with those issues that they have. And unfortunately, there are some people who have just chosen to just continue to make poor choices and they just don't care about others. And so they might try to scam, they might try to lie and deceive, but it's all coming from somewhere. So just seek help if you need it. Stop putting the pressure on other content creators. We can all be better going into 2023. I'm not perfect, far from perfect. I have my own stories and things that I've gone through. We've all dealt with something. And if anybody ever says that they're perfect, that's probably the biggest liar there is, because nobody's perfect. Everybody has gone through something. Everybody has said something they shouldn't have said, made a mistake, done something they shouldn't have done. But at the end of the day, being adults, when someone addresses it, just own up to it, because lying doesn't get you anywhere. And so I hope, like I said, the people that I mentioned at the beginning of this live, I hope that they will do the right thing and clarify what happened, just because it was just a trigger for people. Like, it really made people feel upset and sad. And that's just not, like, playing with people's emotions is horrible. And so I just wouldn't advise that at all. And if the intention was not that, then just clarify. Like, one little video can clarify a lot. But just be honest about it. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Um, yeah, just we all can be better going into 2023. And just remember the purpose of your channel. What do you want your channel to be? Do you want it to be a mukbang channel? Fine. If you want it to be a variety channel, fine. If you want it to be um, a comedy channel, a gaming channel, fine. But just make sure what you're doing has some purpose to it, and that you're not using your channel as a way to deceive or hurt or cause unnecessary pain on other people, because it's just unnecessary. And I don't find it funny at all. I find it sad and kind of like, why? But I've given you guys a resource. Some of you may have other resources that you use. If you're against going to talk to somebody, that's on you. But find a way to release, even if you journal. I'm a big journaler as well. Like, I've had journals since I was young. But even just writing it down, sometimes people can't give you the answers that you want. And sometimes people just want other people to just give them an answer, or just to make them feel better. And sometimes as human beings, we don't know how to make you feel better. Sometimes you just have to write it down and release it and let it go, because sometimes there's just no answer. And that's just something that life will teach you along the way. And if you've ever gone through anything, you know that is true. Like, some things just don't have an answer. Yeah, narcissism is real as well, for sure. And so, but the first thing to do is to admit you need help when it comes to issues. And I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to lose my mind. I don't want to be out here just wandering the world, not have a purpose. And so if I feel like something's bothering me, my emotions so much that I need to talk to somebody, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And so I told the counselor, I said, I definitely want to keep talking to you occasionally. Like I said, once a month, just to do little check-ins, just like I would for any other doctor. Now, I don't go to every other doctor once a month, but like, I think just little mental checkups to make sure you're doing well is good. And I told her, like, if something happens and I need to talk to you before then, I'll make another appointment. But it's good to know that you have somebody to talk to you that is going to talk to you from a place of non-judgment, and not based on like their history with you or whatever it might be. Because sometimes people will tell you what you want to hear when it comes to like some people are afraid to be honest. Like some families, some friends are afraid to be honest because they don't want to ruin your relationship or they don't know how you're going to handle. You have those, of course, you have those friends that are just going to tell you like it is, which I feel like I do have. Especially two of my really, really close best friends will tell me like it is. And I appreciate that. But not everybody is that way. And sometimes you don't want to put that burden on your friends either because they may not know how to tell you to deal with things. So sometimes a professional is better. Yeah, sometimes people do hit their bottom, unfortunately, and some people hit the bottom and they stay there. They don't get back out of it. But unfortunately, that is true. But I thank you guys for tuning in to this live. But I just wanted to say that as we kind of close out this year, that we can all be better content creators in the choices that we make, including myself. Um, and just remember why you have your channel and focus on that. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. It's cloudy here in Dallas. It's been cloudy for the last few days. I think we'll probably get some sunshine by Thursday, but I don't like not having sunshine. Sunshine is good for energy, but it's been helpful like having the Christmas tree lit and things like that cuz it listening to Christmas music and things like that gets you in a good mood. So yeah, you got to find other ways to kind of give you that energy when the sun's not out because the sun, y'all, the sun has energy, good energy. Like it's good to go be in the sun. um so if you're in the house all the time, even when the sun is out, go just take a walk, let that sun hit you because I'm telling you, it's good energy. And when you have cloudy days, you got to find other ways to get that energy, because it makes a difference in your mood and the way that you act. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you. Bye, you. So that's it. That's all. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm forgetting my own closing. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share if you feel so inclined. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a good rest of the evening. And it's almost Christmas time. Bye, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Bye to those in the chat. Bye to those that were watching that were unable to be in the chat. Bye to everybody. See you guys. Have a good day.